Alors, j'avais des vidéos que j'avais mis dans regarder à plus tard. À regarder à plus tard, n'est-ce pas? Oui, non, mais ça, j'avais. Pourquoi il n'y a pas. C'est sur une autre page. Alors, attendez. Attendez. On va retrouver ça. On va retrouver ça. Ne vous en faites pas, je suis dessus. C'est quoi, c'était avec ce compte? Et non. Putain, j'ai des comptes qui se déconnectent, ça me saoule, hein. Ajouter un compte. Putain, ils m'ont enlevé. Alors, est-ce que c'est là-dedans à regarder plus tard? Oui, bien sûr. C'était ici. Alors, c'est une vidéo sur Dark Souls. C'est le top 10 des pires. Les runbacks, c'est les moments où en gros on meurt. Vous savez, le boss vous tue et du coup, bah, faut retourner au boss, se battre contre lui, quoi. Bah voilà, on va avoir une compile de ça, bien sûr. Ce type va nous la présenter. Rae Irby. Je suis tombé dessus par hasard, ça m'était proposé. Je me suis dit que ce serait sympa en vrai. Après, bon, j'ai pas fait Dark Souls 2, mais en vrai, je pense que quand même la plupart. On verra. Ça me fera rire. Je vais juste aller pisser un coup, bien entendu. Bien entendu, messieurs, dames. Et je reviens. À de suite.
DJ Awvi.
If I fuck with you, I hit a lick for you. Don't condone that shit because that shit that is not true. We slide to his spot, he turned the cat, he had to move. I got so many flow, he use my flow, I got a suit. I'm in a trap and I just want all of it. And I'm out there drink like hell, that bitch on the drum, man. And I'm smoking, so you know I'm smoking on that skunk, man. Say you wanna smoke, I got that stick for you. If I fuck with you, I hit a lick for you. Don't condone that shit because that shit that is not true. We slide to his spot, he turned the cat, he had to move. I got so many flow, he use my flow, I got a suit. I'm in a trap and I just want all of it. And I'm out there drink like hell, that bitch on the drum, man. And I'm out there with you, know this shit smell like some skunk, man. Don't do shopping spree, but she want me to be her pump, man. Bro got many sticks, it's like a tree when he pop that trunk, man. Don't you look at me when she goes south, I'm not gon' jump, man. Bro, these business ass, it ain't no reason to jump, man. Cut them niggas off, they only hit me when they need something. I can't fit up, pay no more, cause this week got me numb, man. You don't act the same no more, I'm tryna figure out what the fuck is that? Why the fuck you care? Got a bitch on me, but I'm pulling nice out my bag. Got your bitch on me, and she put her face in my slack. Why you switch on me? Don't you know my brothers never lie? My name is Mitch, homie, so you know that paper gonna stack. Don't give a witch, homie, want to smoke, all of them get smacked. I feel like Big Tony, bitch, I'm not the one you wanna attack.
Et oui, bonsoir. Bah oui, c'est ça, il fait. Alors, voyons voir. Les 10 pires runbacks de Dark Souls. Est-ce que je m'en souviens de certains?
They're cool, right? No, I hate them.
Tout le monde
This
les
is my list
déteste.
of the top 10 worst boss runbacks I can think of in any of the FromSoft games. But first, you knew I was going to have a couple of honorable mentions, right? The first one is from Dark Souls 1, and I am of course
Ok, ils
talking
sont pas dans le
about the
top 10
run
ceux-là.
to Ceci, the bitch-ass scaleless.
Ah
Now, odds are you
putain.
won't have to do this run, but if you do, you've got quite a run ahead of you.
Oh là là. Trajet. Ah, déjà en plus, le temps que t'arrives là-bas, et une fois que t'es là-bas, il faut que tu saches qu'est-ce qu'il faut faire contre le boss. Et les premières fois, tu sais pas forcément. Tu sais pas. T'es obligé de mourir. Et moi, le pire dans ma run, ce qui m'est arrivé, c'est que du coup, j'étais en train de le faire, le boss. J'ai fait plein d'allers-retours et au bout d'un moment, j'en avais marre. Et il y a un moment où, du coup, sur le trajet, c'est invisible le passage. Il faut le trouver en fait. Et bien sûr, moi, bah, au bout d'un certain moment, j'en ai eu marre. J'ai quitté Dark Souls. J'avais pas fini ce boss. Le lendemain, je me reconnais. Et j'arrive au moment où il y a le truc invisible. Bah, le problème, c'est que je me souviens pas d'où il était. J'ai regaléré pendant une demi-heure à le retrouver parce que je suis sorti de ma tête.
Because you've got to go down a ladder that you can't
Ah, bah,
jump.
il va l'expliquer.
Because if you do, you take fall damage. Then you have to sprint across that grass.
Ça, j'en avais rien à foutre. Je la prenais jamais l'échelle. J'arrivais en roulade, je prenais des dégâts, j'en avais rien à foutre.
Golems just want to put their big old crystal fist just right up your little undead ass. And then you get to run across those invisible
Voilà.
pathways that
Ceux-là, ça va. Ceux-là, je m'en souvenais, ils étaient simples. C'est les deuxièmes, là. Je savais plus d'où ils partaient.
Just making a really long haul all the way back to that boss again. And if you're not careful, those stupid clam guys, they can like kind of
Ah ouais.
on the way
Ah,
back to
faux.
his room. And
Ah ouais, non, c'est vrai.
yeah, it's not a good time.
Et le boss
The
aussi pue
second
la merde.
honorable mention is from none other than Bloodborne, and of course, I am talking this time about
Ah,
the run to
c'est vrai qu'il y a les
Martyr
Bloodborne aussi.
Logarius. If you fall to Martyr Logarius, which you probably will, because
J'ai
let's
pas,
face
j'ai
it,
pas fait
it's
Bloodborne.
pretty tough. Your run starts off running through a building, getting screamed at by ghosts, which aren't really that bad if you got your sound turned down a little bit. But the real kicker is when you have to go climb the ladder, which takes forever. Then you are going to be shot at by Mr. Blowdart Man and just screw him and the horse that he rode in on.
Il y a sa vie
Then
qui
you get
baisse
to
du
do
coup.
some parkour across the rooftops, which also kind of takes a minute. And then
Putain,
the
c'est trop
last
chiant.
little lash that they get on you when you're trying to get to the boss is you take some fall damage, making it impossible to face Martyr Logarius with a full health bar and full heals in your inventory.
Et ouais, ça, ils aiment bien ça.
Sucky. Now let's get to some real
Ok, ok. Il a pas montré le boss. J'aurais bien aimé voir le boss en vrai.
Number 10.
Allez.
Old King Allant. This is the first boss run back we're gonna have on the list
Ah,
from
c'est
Demon Souls. And
Demon
when you
Soul, ok.
fight Old King Allant,
Pas fait Demon Souls. Si j'avais la Play 5, je le ferais, mais en vrai, sur la Play 2, là. Il a l'air un peu
there is a
vieilli.
very
Sur
good
Play
chance
3,
that
non,
you're gonna die the first time
Pas
because
il est sur
he
Play
is
3.
the hardest boss in the game. The run to Old King Allant begins with two archers shooting at you just as soon as you start making your way to him. Then you have to climb some stairs, deal with a couple red-eye knights, which are probably, you know, the toughest just regular enemies you can run into in the game.
Ok, c'est genre les chevaliers
And
bannis
I'm gonna
quoi.
say this run back would have been a lot higher if it wasn't for the fact that there is a shortcut allowing you to totally skip that dragon and the pyromancer guys, because
Il y a un
oh
dragon.
my god, if you had to deal with that on every single run back, that would be just straight up hell. The last thing about this run back
toujours pas
that
arrivé?
just really brings my piss to a boil is the part where you get on the elevator that is the longest elevator that has ever existed. And I just want to know how come it couldn't have been slow like the first time, and then every subsequent time you have to do this, maybe just make it instant, or you know, make it like the elevator on Symphony of the Night. That's a elevator.
Number 9.
Ah, j'avoue trop cher, je sais pas de reprendre les élévateurs et tout.
Are you surprised that the hardest level in
Ouais.
Dark Souls also
Ouais.
has the worst boss run back?
Ouais. En plus,
The run to Grave
oh, les PTSD. Oh non, les... Oh,
Lord need.
oh. 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 Est-ce que j'ai fait une vidéo spéciale sur lui? Ça, c'est une bonne question. Je vais faire un react à moi qui joue. Ça, c'est parfait. J'ai juste envie de revoir ce combat. Je crois pas que je l'ai, ce combat. C'est ça? Non, c'est pas ça. Un peu de la musique. Yo-yo King cool. King. Je vais t'appeler King. Yao King. Bah là, j'étais en train de voir une vidéo sur Dark Souls en fait. C'est les pires runbacks. C'est les moments où tu meurs devant le boss et du coup, tu cours. Tu cours jusque. Bah, tu recours de l'endroit où tu respawns au boss quoi. Et en gros, ils montent les pires. Et du coup, je voulais juste voir si j'avais fait un petit edit du combat en question là. Mais je ne crois pas. Deviens chasseur. Ouais, non, j'ai pas ça. Hein. Kélag. Ah, mais c'est pas dans l'ordre. Bon, écoutez, peu importe. Ce boss est terrible.
Involves the player having to
C'est
run
trop.
past those horrible
C'est trop.
skeleton bears that
Ah ouais,
just
non. Mais...
haunt my dreams. And this is a really long run. So you have to deal with the skeleton beasts. You have to run around
En vrai...
the skeleton pillars that pop up.
Ah ouais, c'est vrai qu'ils sont chiants. Moi, je l'ai frappé à chaque fois. Mais moi non plus, j'ai pas assez de patience du coup, mais je les ai fait pour la première fois il y a pas trop longtemps en vrai. Et parce qu'on m'en parlait depuis 1000 ans. Et en vrai, j'ai fait Elden Ring. Et Elden Ring, quand même, il est plus accessible, entre guillemets. Je crois. Je crois, non? Un peu quand même. Enfin, en tout cas, moi, j'ai trouvé plus simple. J'ai fait en premier Elden Ring et ensuite les Dark Souls. Et j'ai trouvé plus simple Elden Ring quand même. Dark Souls, il y a vraiment un côté où tu t'arraches tes cheveux en vrai. Voilà. Mais en vrai, tu peux essayer et voir si tu rentres dans le monde, tu vois. Il y a un côté, tu veux te dépasser et y arriver un peu, tu vois. Alors que Rémanente, par exemple, j'ai pas eu la force. J'ai pas eu la force. Trop dur. Vraiment trop dur. Ah, c'est vrai que ce moment il est chiant. Oh oui, non. Oh. Les dégâts. Full damage, fall damage, n'est-ce pas? Voilà. Bim.
Number 8.
Executioner's Chariot. Now, my friends, we're getting to the legendary king
Dark Souls 2.
of the shitty runbacks, Dark Souls 2. The runback to Executioner's Chariot.
Ouais, non, en vrai, c'est sympa, surtout quand tu vois, enfin, quand tu vois des gens qui sont bons au jeu, c'est impressionnant, vraiment. Ah, vraiment bon, hein, quoi. Genre pas moi, quoi. Voilà. Mais du coup, regarder des gens nuls aussi, ça peut être drôle. Genre, du coup, tu vois, il y a une balance quand même. Voilà, c'est ça, on est d'accord. Ouais. C'est de la comédie 2.0, tu vois. En vrai, quand t'es nul, tu rigoles pas. Hein. Les gens ils rient, mais quand t'es dedans, là que tu joues, c'est...
and they'll be hitting you with this long-reaching weapon they got. It's really hard to get past these guys without getting hit.
Le 2, je l'ai pas fait,
And then
Dark
the
Souls 2.
last one
Pareil que c'est
has a whip
le plus chiant, le
dark
plus
magic imbued into it.
mal fait, entre guillemets.
That's great. If you manage to actually make it past these guys, and I have died just going through that little area where they're at, but if you do manage to get past them, there's a scary bridge with holes in it, so you gotta be careful crossing that. And
Il y a
the
des
last thing
trous,
that they
let's
have
go.
are two naked dudes hanging off the bottom of the bridge to jump scare you, catch you off guard. I hate doing this run. It doesn't sound as bad, but when you do it, it sucks.
Number 7.
Ah ouais.
Blue Smelter Demon. Okay, now we're really
Un
getting
corps Dark Souls 2?
into
Non,
the
c'est
really bad ones.
Demon Soul?
The run back to the Blue Smelter Demon is infested with enemies.
Non, c'est
There
Dark
are
Souls 2
enemies
ça,
every
putain.
few steps,
À mon avis, il va y avoir que du Dark Souls 2 tellement que c'est un jeu de merde, hein, je pense.
and they're all much bigger than you and have a weapon the size of your body, and they are really hard to avoid. To make it even worse, there are some douchebag mages casting this magic that actually slows your running down, making it even harder
Ah,
to
putain.
dodge this
J'ai juste envie de crever, quoi.
infested hallway full of enemies.
Ah ouais, non mais...
And if you manage
Non mais
to
je
get
pense que j'ai fait le bon
past
choix de
these
pas le faire,
guys,
ce jeu.
there is an even bigger guy with an even bigger weapon. This run back is
Ah ouais.
nightmare fuel for me. And to top it
Tu
off,
te niques toutes tes potions avant d'arriver au
the Blue
boss.
Smelter Demon, he's one of the hardest enemies in Dark Souls 2, and there's a very good chance
Ah ouais?
you're gonna die to him. All I can say is get prepared to do this one a couple times.
Ça va en vrai. Il a l'air lent.
6.
Sir Alon.
Et devinez quoi? Un corps Dark Souls 2.
The run back to Sir Alon somehow
En vrai, shout out à Hydro, le collègue, pour l'avoir fini parce que...
manages to be even worse.
Shout out à
than the
lui.
Smelter Demon run, due to
Ah, il a
the
mis du
fact
temps après, il a mis du
that
temps. Hein. Ça a duré des mois, hein, il m'en
on
parlait.
Sir Alon's run, you have these skeleton knights.
Il a failli
these
quitter à
katanas
plusieurs moments.
that
Mais
are
ça va.
constantly running
il a pris le
straight at
temps.
you and stabbing you the whole way through. Now that's already really intense because you're constantly dodging and running and rolling just
Eh
the
oui.
whole way to this boss.
C'est l'endroit où il y a la lave
You
là.
have the lizards shooting fireballs at you at the same time, so you could get stabbed by a skeleton, then whacked by a fireball, and you know you're not gonna have time.
Ouais,
to
je crois que c'est
heal
cette
because
zone.
There's another
Oh là là.
skeleton and another fireball coming in just a second. And when you get to the end of the run, there are archers trying to shoot at you, so you could potentially get caught with an arrow.
C'est dans une espèce de forge là où il y a plein de lave partout. Ah oui, d'accord. C'est un samouraï. Ok.
Number 5.
Il est rapide le bout.
The afflicted grave robber, ancient soldier Varg, and Sarah the old explorer. Yeah, Gang Squad is definitely much easier to say.
C'est encore Dark Souls 2, bordel.
To these three assholes is really something. You have those lizards with the statues.
Ouais, celui-là, je l'ai vu mon collègue le faire.
You've got knights running at you,
Tu
swinging
prends des
shit
dégâts,
at you.
il y a plein de statues, quand tu passes devant ces statues, elles te balancent des flèches empoisonnées. Et en gros, il y en a, mais il y en a, je sais pas, il y en a 250, je sais pas, il y en a tout le long, plein, et des deux côtés. Et en gros, tu peux les détruire. Mais vu qu'il y a des animations, quand tu mets des coups, vas-y, t'en détruis une, tu te fais... Tu prends 15
The whole
flèches.
time you're running, you have statues spitting petrify at you. Also, we're in a dark cave, so it's really easy to get turned around and lost in this particular run back. And the best part is, when you get to the very end, there are just a couple more of those petrify statues that potentially could end your life right there before you even make it to the fog wall.
Ah oui, donc elles empoisonnent pas, quoi. Il y a des statues qui,
These
putain, qui
three
pétrifient.
are really cheesy and really annoying, and if you don't have a summon, you're probably gonna lose. Good luck.
Number 4.
Putain, il faudrait que je lui en parle de celui-là aussi.
This boss run has you
Ça, c'est Demon
going
Soul.
the most massive distance. It's pretty insane. You have to deal with rolling skeletons,
Ok.
these super tall alien-looking dudes who shoot scary green lasers at you, and
What?
did I mention that it's a long, long, long,
Non mais c'est
long
quoi ces ennemis sur le
run
chemin? Mais
to this
vas-y.
boss?
Ça rend juste
The
fou
one
ça, c'est même
saving
pas drôle.
grace is if you do bring
Tu
soul
perds
remains,
patience quoi.
you can throw them to distract
Ça te détruit
enemies that are gonna
psychologiquement.
be blocking your path. Some of them you're almost gonna have to kill, but soul remains can occasionally let you slide by. Also, you're going to want to use the thief ring because the thief ring will help any enemies that are not very close to you de-aggro.
Ok.
And the thief ring, most importantly, is going to be used when you fight this boss. Because
D'accord.
if you do not cheese this boss, there is a chance, no matter how slight, that you'll have to do this run again. And
Again.
that
Number 3.
ancient dragon.
Putain c'est
So
Dark
now
Souls
we're
2.
back to Dark Souls 2 again.
Mais putain mais il est vraiment
Did you miss
pourri ce
Well,
jeu. Pourquoi il y a
I've got news for you. The top 3 worst boss runs are all from Dark Souls 2.
Putain.
The ancient
Mais vas-y, il est sérieux là. Le top 3 c'est que des runs de Dark Souls 2.
Dragon
Ça me parlera
has
même pas, mais
a
vas-y
long
Osef.
run. However, what
Mais
makes
je
the
le
run
ferai jamais
even
ce
longer
jeu. La vérité, je le
is
ferai
the
jamais.
fact that you have to
J'ai jamais vu une chose, une seule chose qui m'a convaincu de le faire. Même pas entendu, pas vu, pas lu, rien.
every single large knight in this area. And if you do not stop and fight each one and defeat him, the little dragon knights will aggro and proceed to swarm your ass
Bien
until
sûr.
you're dead. Now you may think that this would be not a really big deal because why don't you just run away like you do on most of the other boss runs, right? Just run to the door.
Ouais.
Well, the problem is in Dark Souls 2,
La porte est
they
fermée?
didn't think you needed to be invincible the entire time you crossed through a fog wall. So that's just not gonna work.
Ah putain.
The ancient dragon
C'est-à-dire que le moment où tu ouvres la porte, tu peux prendre des dégâts.
a major son of a bitch and has the biggest health bar ever. I kind of feel like I'm fighting that hidden boss in Symphony of the Night.
Ah non, mais vas-y,
in the
mais rien que pour
upside
ça,
down
je le ferai
catacombs,
jamais.
that his health bar is even bigger than Dracula's health bar. Like what the fuck? Not to mention his fire attack is pretty devastating. I hate fighting this guy, and I hate his boss run.
Number 2.
Dark
Mais
Lord.
vois-tu Fuc?
Why do we do this to ourselves? Was there really any call for this FromSoft? Let's not kid ourselves. You guys are pretty sick putting this boss with this boss run. If we were gonna fight, oh, I don't know, Jabba the Hutt at the end of this boss run, it wouldn't have been that bad. But we have to fight Dark Lurker, one of the most difficult bosses in the entire game. And we are faced with a boss run where, to begin, we have to find this old
Ça va, il
bitch
prend des dégâts, il
and
prend des
give
dégâts.
them the most valuable consumable item in the entire game, a human effigy. You need
Ah
human
ouais.
effigies to go from hollow form to have more of a health bar.
Ok.
You need human effigies to be human if you want to summon some health.
C'est genre les
So
humanités
why in
quoi.
God's name would you make it to where I have to give a human effigy to refight a fuck boss?
Ah, tu dois donner une... pour fight le boss à chaque fois?
I just don't understand you guys sometimes from
Non mais what the f...
I mean, you know, you treat us so good, and then every once in a while you do some shit like this, and I just don't understand.
Ah, c'est triste. C'est très triste d'entendre ça,
So on the
vraiment.
Dark Lurker boss run, you have to fight every NPC on the way.
Eh, pour farmer?
Now, it's not like the Ancient Dragon boss fight where there's a bunch of other NPCs that are going to swarm you if you try to skip one, but you have to find every NPC on this path and kill them, or else the way to the boss will never be opened up for you.
Ah d'accord.
So this boss run takes quite a while.
Si tu tues pas tous les ennemis avant le boss, la porte du boss ne s'ouvre pas.
Do it all again.
Même si tu l'as fait une fois,
And
mais c'est...
B, pay another human effigy. And if you run out of human effigies,
Eh oui.
you get to go farm human effigies.
Et là,
Let me just say that one more time, nice and clear and clean and slow, so we
c'est
can
vraiment la
all
merde à fermer
just
cette merde.
think about what FromSoft put into this fucking game that we love and enjoy. You have to farm to do a boss run. Unacceptable. Unacceptable.
J'avoue que c'est
And the
très
number
triste.
one worst boss run in any FromSoft game is the boss run to Slave Night Gale.
C'est que en même temps, il y a eu tellement de critiques après ça, à mon avis, que genre ils l'ont plus fait. Et du coup, forcément, il y a pas, du coup, on voit pas de runback, les worst runbacks dans Dark Souls 3 ou dans Elden Ring parce qu'il y en a pas tout simplement. Elles sont moins longues.
Gale, it's like
Moi, je pensais que c'était terrible des fois, mais quand je vois ça, laisse tomber. Je suis content, je suis très content.
thank you guys for giving
Qu'est-ce
us
que c'est
that
que ça?
boss run. That's probably the shortest boss run I can think of in any game. The real number one is the god dang boss run to Lude and Zolin in the frigid outskirts.
Tu vas prendre ça à chaque fois,
Let me tell
sérieux?
you this, friends. I have seen the face of true horror. Just revisiting this boss run for the purposes of making this video
Mais tu vois rien.
brought me on the verge of a panic attack. It's that bad. This is not just the worst boss run I've ever played in a FromSoft game.
Bon, tu vas toujours tout droit pour le
Not
moment.
even just the worst boss run I've ever seen in any video game. This is one of the worst things that I've ever seen in a game ever. The boss
Carrément.
that you have to fight at the end of this run is a gank boss, so that really sucks. Second
Ouais.
of all, the
Il y a deux boss,
second
quoi.
boss that is in this fight heals himself and buffs himself. Yeah, that's bullshit. You're
Bah,
gonna
du
have
coup-
to do this more than once.
Du coup, il faut tuer le deuxième en
That's
priorité
just
alors.
ridiculous. Ooh, boy, oh boy. Let's talk about this run. Okay. Snow levels in video games are not always the most fun thing, right?
Mhm.
There are some games that have a
Il y
snow
a la
level that I
glace,
really
on
like.
glisse.
For instance, the snow level on Ninja Turtles 2 the arcade game. That's a great snow level.
Dans Valheim, on prend des dégâts à chaque seconde qu'on est dans la neige. Parce qu'on a froid. Du coup, il faut avoir un stuff particulier. Pour avoir le stuff, il faut farmer des trucs qui sont dans la neige. Du coup, il faut faire des feux de camp tous les mètres pour éviter de prendre des dégâts. Ou alors faire des potions. Mais pour avoir des potions anti-givre, il faut farmer des mobs qui sont dans la neige et qui sont très forts. Non, oui, les niveaux de la neige, en effet, c'est pas tant agréable, bien
It's
sûr.
really fun. It's got these cool
Bien sûr,
little
c'est comme les
pizza
niveaux
hut
des égouts.
signs. Pretty sweet. But
Dans tous les
this
jeux
is not
vidéo.
like that level at all.
Et c'est de la merde
There
dans
are
tous
no
les jeux
turtles
vidéo.
performing jump kicks. There is no bear wearing a leather jacket. No, 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 no. We don't get any of those things. Not in the frigid outskirts. We get snowstorms. Snowstorms that make it to where you can't see at all. And yeah, they can cause you to start going the wrong way, making the boss run take even longer.
Eh ouais, j'avoue.
We're not here to talk about snow, are we? We're here to talk about those f***ing reindeer. Because every
Ah,
time a
putain.
snowstorm comes up, oh, you get plowed back down on your
Ah
ass by
ouais.
a huge reindeer.
Bon, ça va, il a bien,
who
il a buté assez
appears
rapidement.
to be
Ouais.
imbued with some sort of dark magic, and that's probably one reason that they do so much damage. And the longer you take to kill these deer, and the longer you take to clear this area, they will keep spawning. So if you're super, super fast and really efficient, you may get through this boss run only having to deal with 2 of these bastards. But odds are you're not gonna do that. Odds are you're gonna fight 3, 4, 5 until you're dead. I swear I hate these deer so much. They're the worst enemy I can think of in any FromSoft game, And
On n'a
the
pas
fact
parlé
that
de
they
cela,
can fly
Hydro.
is just insane, because anything in a FromSoft game that can fly is pretty bullshit, seeing as how Elden Ring is the only one of these games that even lets you jump, and flying enemies aren't super easy to kill even in that game. This
Ah,
boss
tu
run
peux faire des
is the
attaques
worst
sautées
thing
aussi
ever.
dans...
If
Mais oui, après
you
j'imagine que c'est pas
choose
autant...
to just
pas attaquer
skip
des
this part
cibles
of
en
Dark
l'air,
Souls
je
2,
comprends.
I do not blame you one bit. We can all thank Gavlon that luckily these awful boss runs are probably a thing of the past.
Eh oui.
And let's hope it stays that way. That the world might be mended. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button and subscribe to be notified about
S'il te plaît, enlève le plein écran,
future
merci.
content releases. Hit me up in the comments section if you've got any videos.
Herbie, n'hésitez pas à les subscribe. Oui, la force, voilà, hop là, un petit like. Ah. Voilà. Bon bah en tout cas, moralité, cette histoire, je ne jouerai pas à Dark Souls 2. À moins qu'on me paye pour peut-être.